Izere uchine mukaka imi mapambe pfumi ndizvo here zvamunoita.
We just finished the election process. Are you happy as the ruling party and as the war veterans with the outcome of the election?
Thank you. In my capacity as the secretary for the war veterans, responsible for the War Veterans League, which is the third wing of the party, ruling party ZANU-PF, I am excited that finally the election process has come to an end with a victory. The war veterans have fought, lost battles and won battles. And this battle finally, the commander, Comrade Idin Nangago, is also excited that we have won the elections. And I must bring it to your attention that the war veterans must be thanked for the job that they have done to go down to the grassroots, to go down to the villages, to go down to ourselves, to educate and further conscientize people that this is a revolution and it is a continuation of the revolution. The same reason why we fought is the same reason why we needed to defend the gains of the liberation struggle. And it is our duty as war veterans to defend the interests of the party, the interests of the people. That is to defend the war that exists between those who exploited us for the past 100 years until we got independence today. So it is a continuation of the war. It is our duty to defend the interests of our people. We are aware that the only reason that the enemy has to try and run away from the truth, to not to accept the outcome of a democratic process, the elections, is the question of land. We knew about it before we got independence. So Zimbabwe is nothing else other than a sovereign state. It is implementing what is supposed to be implemented. And the war veterans, now at that age, at a young age, my war veterans are kind of kuhondo, kunorwira nyaya ye one man, one vote. You have read history, the French Revolution. They were fighting for universal, they call it universal suffrage. Nyaya ye one man, one vote. So, as a party, ZANU-PF, we still maintain our revolutionary principle, the principle of minority being subordinate to majority. And this is what the elections have revealed. The people of Zimbabwe have spoken. And any other individual has no right not to accept what the people of Zimbabwe have said. The people of Zimbabwe have spoken loudly and clearly that they have chosen their only beloved, a listening president, Comrade Idin Nangago, who leads a revolutionary party, to be their leader in the next 5 years. And no one has the right to stop that from happening. Nobody spoke about it. Nobody said anything about it until people of Zimbabwe decided to fight. And so they fought and won. So they are defending what they fought for. Remember, ZANU-PF is a right to rule this country by virtue of the path that it chose to gain independence. Kuti titonge tine hama dzakafa, tine vanhu vakarara kuMozambique, tine vanhu vakarara kuZambia, tine vanhu vakarara in the countryside. Kuti tisvike pakuzvitonga, Vamunangagwa is a leader wevanhu ivavo as we speak, and we are not going to budge. The stage at which this contradiction is not yet anachronistic. We are people, we are Zimbabweans, and we should be able to respect one another. One man, one vote, Takaya Achieva. Everyone else now has a right to vote. So we must respect this constitution. It requires us to go to my elections after every 5 years. And that is what we have done. And who is who to then say it's now in void as Shanda Tinabita my elections, and yet we have remained constitutional. So we are saying as war veterans, vanotamba pada nenyika ini kutaura zvaunoda pamusoro penyika ini. And yet I left school, I left gainful employment to go and fight. And those who did not fight, vakutitaura zvavanoda pamusoro penyika ini. Hazvikwanisiki izvozvo. If the opposition is something constructive, if the opposition is something beneficial to the people of Zimbabwe as far as economic development is concerned, they are not barred by the constitution to make a contribution, because contributing to the economic development of this nation is what the people want, and grounds my ideas out so that those ideas will be incorporated in the economic development program of this nation. Besides, the economic development programs that are coming from the president, Zakaitwa accepted from parliament, where they are participating. My elections, they accepted to do that. We knew that they were going to do it when the enemy then said, unless we win, then the elections are free and fair. When the election process, there is only one winner. In as far as the 23rd of August elections, the winner is ZANU-PF. The winner is the president, Comrade Idi Mnangagwa, and no one is going to can change that, because we did it very constitutional. ZANU-PF is committed to its revolutionary principles, and these are the principles. I think I'm done. Unless if anyone has a question.
Okay, and what's your take on the Observer reports as the war veterans?
Amadangu. The story is very long anyway. But when you are an observer, you have not taken that country's constitution and the sovereignty and dictate to them as you think. You are just an observer. Like in a football pitch, there is only one referee. The linesman may indicate something within as the game progresses, but if it is wrong, it is the duty of the referee to rule that out. An observer is an observer. You only observe. You only see, witness what is happening. Any observer, like the Mumba guy, he failed God. He is a pastor. He had a very big congregation, which he failed to pastor. A congregation is not a population. And so he failed God. And now he's coming down to fail men. Like what the devil did when he wanted to destroy the kingdom of God. He came to destroy men. So he doesn't need to be like that. He needs to understand that it doesn't pay to be evil. After all, We are a sovereign state. We are not going to be ruled by the rules that govern the observer missions. That's how he thinks. That's how I'm choose the words that I want. And does that have anything to do with the one who is not here? I'm choosing my own words. So it's his words. I don't think in the wisdom of regional leadership and international leadership they can be worried about Mumba, who failed to look after a church, and now he thinks he can look after Zimbabwe. He can't.
If there are no more questions, I think we allow the secretary.
Yesterday, the leader of the opposition, Bullish Chamisa, said he is going to form his own government. What's your take as Wolfets on such sentiments?
You cannot form a government within a government. It's being Kupeng. He needs to be taken to a psychiatric hospital. You cannot form a government within a government. It's not practical. Kanandimio. How do you form a government within another government? You cannot do that. I don't think Angaru Tamba. Angaru Sek. Oh, only question.
Okay, thank you, Comrade.
I can only take one more other question to Vatapet.
Critics are saying ZANU-PF only wants to hear positive things from the observers, especially if you actually on previous elections. Now that the observers have actually given something which is with the recommendations to ZEC, then you are now crying for. What's your take on that one?
Are you not also crying for as a Zimbabwean? You as a journalist. We are not talking about that. We will hear from ZEC. ZEC absorbs every election shock, and we hear from ZEC, not from ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF is just a participant, just one of the participants. Do you agree? So we hear from ZEC. If we don't want to hear it, we will always take our issues to ZEC. So it's not about ZANU-PF, it's about the referee, which is ZEC. One more question if there is one, that's the last one.
Alright, Comrade Maya, the opposition CCC is complaining and disputing the election results that we read out by ZEC. What is the best advice would you give to the opposition CCC, or which best way would they lodge their complaints?
Human beings naturally would choose peace, would choose love, would choose development, would choose tolerant. Anyone else would choose, they would choose these positive things. And this is what I advise the opposition. They have not done enough for themselves. They would have organized their people to victory is what we did. And what I advise them is to go back to the drawing board and be able to organize their own people if they can. But the best thing is to join ZANU-PF. That's what the opposition should do. They should join ZANU-PF for development purposes, for the sake of the people, for the sake of unity, for the sake of love of the nation. Thank you.
Thank you, comrades, for coming in and spending time with us.
Thank you. Thank you, my comrades.
Thank you.